Okay, so what we have here today is I got a nice little glute workout for all the ladies, because all you ladies, every one of you wants to grow a little peach. So what we have today for the first exercise is going to be a hip banded dumbbell RDL. First step for this is what you're going to do is you're going to take your band and you're going to wrap it around the support beam around hip height. You want to make sure that it's going to be right around where you're going to be hinging from. After that, you're going to reach, lean out forward, you're going to grab the two dumbbells, and we're going to start with the RDLs. One of the biggest tricks to this exercise to make sure that you can feel it properly and that you're targeting the glutes is how you're thinking about the exercise while you're performing it. While doing the exercise, you don't want to just think about bringing the weights, dropping them down and then lifting them up. As you're performing this exercise, you want to be thinking about pushing your hips backwards as the weights are starting to go down. And then when your hips reach the end of the range of motion where they're no longer going backwards, you start to come up. As you start to come up, I want you to think about grabbing the ground with your feet and pulling it backwards. And what that does is that engages the function of the glutes a little bit better, gives you that mind to muscle connection. You're going to feel this real well. Next exercise we're going to be doing is going to be the hip thrust. Here at the Gym in the North, we have a hip thrust machine, and which doesn't fit well for everybody, but if it works well for you, use this. I recommend it. If it doesn't work well for you, we do have barbells as well with pads to make it so that you can find a good, comfortable way to perform this exercise. While performing the hip thrust, what you want to do is you want to drop down nice and slow through full control. You want to have a nice, strong, concentric thrust all the way up to the top. When you hit the top, I want you to hold that and squeeze for a second. Do a full 1 to 2 count. Then slowly back down and thrust hard again. The most important part of this exercise is up at the top when you are above parallel, because that is all glutes. One of the cool things about the hip thrust machine that we have here is that we have a platform that's able to be raised up. And what this does is it prevents your feet from wanting to slide forward, which takes a little bit more out of your quads. So if you decide to perform it with the barbell, what we do is we grab one of these nice soft pads. What this does is it protects our hips as we're doing the exercise. Metal on bone, not very comfortable. Just like with the hip thrust machine, you're going to go all the way down to the bottom. Once you get yourself set up, you're going to thrust all the way up with a fast contraction. You're going to hold for a 1 to 2 count at the top. You're going to slowly release it back down with a controlled eccentric, guaranteed to make your glutes fire. Fourth exercise that we're going to be doing today is going to be the glute kickback with a cuff. Now, if you don't have a cuff, you don't want to use a cuff, one of the other options you can use is that you can use one of the mini bands. What we have here is some of the badass booty bands that I like to use here in town. When putting the cuff on your ankle, you want to make sure that it's good and tight so that it doesn't roll up your calf as you go to kickback. While getting ready to perform the kickback, you want to make sure that you're leaned into the support beam so that you can try to make sure that you get as much flexion in the hips as possible as you bring your knee forward. Then you're going to kick back, good control, and strong contraction. Whenever performing any of these single leg exercises, you always want to make sure that your hips are square. One of the biggest mistakes that most people make is as they perform these, is they tend to kick back at a bit of an angle and it twists their pelvis, and then it's going to take a lot of the tension off of the glutes and hitting it properly. The last exercise we're going to be doing for this is going to be doing a glute med kickback. Now this muscle is a small muscle located above your glutes off to the side. The range of motion for this is actually to be kicking backwards at about a 40-degree angle, roughly. It doesn't have to be precise. If you don't like performing this exercise with the cuff, again, just like with the regular kickbacks, you can use the mini bands. I personally find these more comfortable with the mini bands than trying to do it with the cuff, but that's up to you. Now that the workout's done, you want to go make sure that you get yourself a nice, good, nutritious post-workout meal. One of the biggest mistakes that a lot of females make is they don't eat enough. The thing is, if you want to grow muscle, you want to grow some glutes, you have to eat in a calorie surplus. You can't just sit there and try to skate by 1,500, 1,600 calories all the time. You need to bump those numbers up to be able to grow a nice peach. You don't want to be limiting your opportunity for growth. Give those booty workouts a try, and thank you.